Good day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan Medal video. In this video we are going to be taking a look at the revamp of the Strongest Rivals event into a brand new DB story event. Now if you guys don't know, DB story events are basically revamps of old story events and ways to make them permanent. So this is the Strongest Rivals, it's basically the first Cooler movie and it's a pretty good event. It's currently featuring a very important free-to-play unit, which is Tech Cooler, but it's been completely revamped to be permanent, and obviously it brings some new rewards, which is a brand new support memory. So the stages remain the same as they were before. There's 7 stages with 2 difficulties each, meaning 14 stones in total. Stage 5 is the important one, as it's where you'll get Tech Cooler, which a lot of people currently need for the legendary summon tickets. Obviously Tech Cooler is one of the reasons to do this event, but you can also awaken the Cooler from this. Wicked Bloodlines are the bonus category for this event, and there's also a support memory, a brand new one that has been added in with the advent of adding this event to DB Story. So clearing these stages under certain conditions will enable you to get the support memory, and the support memory is pretty decent. It's nothing too crazy, but it does help out. And yeah, basically, it's just some new ways to essentially look at events and try to see just how many new different things we can get from the event. Obviously there is a mission for raising the SA of Cooler to level 10, but the main thing you want to focus on is completing all of these stage missions. Most of them dealing with a Bond of Friendship character, an Exploding Rage character, Youth character, character with shocking speed, a Namekian character as well, and a powerful comeback character. I'm going to be showing you guys a team that will not only complete the event, but is also completely free to play, and will also complete all of the event missions. So I'm going to show you guys that team and how to build that team. Unfortunately, that team does not include any Wicked Bloodlines units, so this is something you need to keep in mind, because you're going to need to change the team when you eventually farm the stages for the resources that you need from each one. So obviously we're only going to be using free-to-play units. That is going to be the main thing. There's only a couple of stage requirements, so Exploding Rage, Bond of Father and, Bond of Parent and Child, I should say, and Youth are all going to be completed by the Strength Prime Battle Gohan. So he's going to complete Youth, Exploding Rage, and Bond of Parent and Child. Then Bond of Friendship is going to be finished or completed by the Physical Namek Goku, who's also currently up. And you're also going to get Namekian from the free-to-play Piccolo as well. So obviously pretty much completing all of them relatively easily. Piccolo is also going to complete the shocking speed part of the mission. So yeah, overall pretty easy to get done. As a lead, obviously I'm using the Greatest Warrior Goku because he's just an all-type lead, and that generally does just make my time a lot easier, because you don't have to worry about trying to fit various different types of units down or change the team or anything like that. It all just works as intended. And so yeah, fairly straightforward actually, this team build. It's pretty accessible units, and I also try to keep it pretty much to units that are only currently available. So instead of using teams that are obviously going to be units that aren't currently up, I think all of these units are currently available. So you shouldn't really have a problem if you are missing a unit trying to pick them up. Obviously you don't have to build this exact team, just try and fulfill the stage requirements. You also don't have to do them all with one team. You can just keep changing your team, but changing your team is for lazy, or for not lazy people, and I'm terribly lazy, so I just show you guys how to build one team that conquers all. It's a one conquers all kind of mentality here, and we're going to take that to the grave by building our team as so. Yeah, obviously missions wise all pretty much covered now at this point, so you can pretty much just roll with whatever you want. We're going to just go through 2 of the stages, and then I'll be doing a bit of a time skip ahead, mainly just because quite frankly you don't need to watch me run all these simple stages. This team will handle things on the hardest difficulty, so I do suggest just going straight to the hardest difficulty, as nowadays you finish the hardest difficulty, you get these stones from the previous one, and that's just a lot quicker and a lot faster. You don't want to waste time doing normal and Z hard. If you are brand new to the game and you cannot do Z hard difficulty, that is fine. I suggest you then work on normal. So not a huge issue if you can't, immediately basically kick out and win the game. You can just pretty much go and, like I say, start with the normal difficulty. You don't need to go to the Z hard. It's just preferable. It doesn't mean that you have to do it. But yeah, overall, I think everything went quite well. The team handled everything pretty well. Everything worked as intended. There was no real issues, honestly speaking. I think all the stages went by very quickly, very smoothly. There's no gimmicks to the stages, there's no anything like that, so yeah, it's all fairly straightforward. Now, obviously guys, you wouldn't have seen any cutscenes or dialogue boxes or anything. That's because I have the scenario switched off. So now I'm just going to switch the scenario on and show you guys how it affects the stage basically, and you will be able to decide for yourself. I always suggest putting scenario on for your first run, just because it does make things a lot more fun, and they do put some effort into revamping the story events. There's usually an intro cutscene and a lot of other stuff that's quite interesting. So yeah, I would say obviously try and do that. And just a reminder guys, there is a bonus for this, so if you want to actually increase the drop rates, especially with stage 5 where you farm the Tech Cooler, you actually need to follow the Wicked Bloodlines team, which can also use units like Oolong or Bulla and Vegeta, or the support memories, which will increase your bonus chance regardless of what your actual team boost is. So yeah, as you can see, scenarios on, so all of a sudden we now get these dialogue boxes, which is all pretty cool. It's always nice to kind of get these, how can I say, little bits of touch. Like the story revamps provide a little bit of panache, I want to say, like a little bit of creativity and reusability to the game. They obviously use the DB story mode as kind of a way to revamp and then retire the current events, and that way make them permanent. So instead of making them constantly on cycle, eventually they will have all events active all the time, and this will help players out not only for farming purposes, but obviously just for the ability to have new players always have content to come into, which I think is good. Like new players will always have eventually 10, 12, 14, 16 story events that they can work through. And so even if it's a dry spell on Dokkan, the new player experience will be greatly benefited, which I think is a good call in the long run. So for me, yeah, always liked a bit of a story revamp. It's always cool. Obviously guys, that was just to show you how the scenario works. You can flick it on at the start of the stage, but you don't really have to, if I'm honest. If you know the story. If you want to appreciate the work of the team, then I highly suggest you do so. It is a great way to recap if you are a little bit fuzzy on the details of what's actually been going on in these movies, or what went down when you were 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, etc. Or however old you were when you saw Dragon Ball Z. 24, 95, whatever matters to you. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to skip ahead to when I have completed all of the missions and all of the stages. And yeah, obviously we used the same team the whole way through. We've now earned all the bonus stones. We've also earned the bonus copy of Cooler. And we've also obviously earned the new support memory. If you are farming Cooler, just a heads up, he does have an easy aim. So you not only need to farm the 14 copies for the base Cooler, but you also need to farm 5 copies for the second Cooler. You get 1 from the mission, so that means 18 copies in total. And he's a great unit you can use to level the super attack of any other just standard cooler in the game, which is quite a few actually, so it's a pretty nice pickup overall. And then obviously final mention to level 5 or stage 5, where you can pick up the tech cooler, because that is something a lot of people are going to be wondering, and it is obviously super important in the grand scheme of a couple extreme Z areas, and yeah, just in general pretty straightforward. Guys, please remember that Wicked Bloodlines is the boost category, and the boost is affected by rarity, so the more rares you place in a team, the absolute better that team is going to do in terms of providing bonus. It is still RNG. Doesn't mean that you have 300% that you're going to be walking out with 15 copies of the unit, etc. But it does, help out. But yeah, obviously try and use a Wicked Bloodlines team when you're farming stage 5 for the cooler, because that is going to very much speed up your process. Oolong also helps. Bulla and Vegeta helps. So you can use any of those if you want to. Remember, you also get a copy of Tech Cooler from the missions. So ultimately, at the end of the day, you shouldn't have a massive problem understanding this. Obviously, we've done all the missions. We've completed everything. It was just to show you guys that obviously my team worked. But that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you did. Leave a like if you did. Or leave a comment and I'll try and improve whatever you leave me to work on. But that's pretty much going to be it. So as always, guys, take care. Stay safe. And bye.